And we're live on Facebook, so here we go. Italina, thanks for joining us. And when we first met, or I first learned about you and about who you are, it was all about LinkedIn.
All about LinkedIn.
You were like the go-to person for LinkedIn, which you still are, by the way, social media in general. And so that's why when I was thinking, somebody brought it up in the group, it's like, we should learn more about LinkedIn. And I was like, well, I've got the perfect person for that.
Yay.
And that's you. So can you tell us a little bit about you and who you are and what you do so people know who you are?
Absolutely. My name is Italina, and I have an 8-year-old social media company. We specialize in really creating content for the real estate community. We manage a lot of social media accounts for realtors, lenders, etc. Rewriting their pages so they better market you versus just sitting there as a resume on your LinkedIn. I see a lot of blank Facebook business pages. That still surprises me. There's pictures, but there's no information. So we're all about promoting you, your brand, your services online on social media.
I love it. That was so compact and to the point. You've done this before. So that was great.
I give over 40 talks a year, and now obviously virtually.
I love it. I love it. So we do have some people from Portugal, just like I thought. So Elsa, what's up?
Wow.
Portugal. All right, let's get right into it. When I think of LinkedIn, just so you know, I'm not that great at LinkedIn. And that's only because I gravitate more towards Facebook, Instagram, and a little bit of TikTok and YouTube, right? But I see the power of LinkedIn because I look at your account and then I look at other people's accounts that do great on it. And it's like, wow, it's like so much influence. And then when I post, it's like 1 or 2 likes and it's depressing, right? And I'm like, what am I doing on LinkedIn? So let's start with that.
Okay.
What do you think we as in general, as agents are doing wrong?
Okay, great. Yeah, so number one, most agent profiles that I see on LinkedIn, they're resumes. It's like, oh, I work hard, and like you're not looking for a job. So while LinkedIn, when it first started in the early 2000s as a purely job search tool, now it's 2020. We're at 20 years later. It's definitely evolved into a network marketing as well as still job search, but it's evolved into adding that piece. So you being a business owner as an agent, you want to make sure your profile reads like a website, really, like it markets you, makes it clear your market, your farm, your specialties, types of properties, success stories, testimonials, right? Really marketing. So I would say number one, go and look at your LinkedIn, hire a team like mine to rewrite it so it's a piece of marketing material.
All right, perfect. I like that. So make it more attractive so that it stands out, right?
Yeah, very clear as to how you help.
All right, how I help. Perfect. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to be looking at my LinkedIn as you're talking. So
all good.
Just because I'm very self-conscious now. I'm like,
and I'll say to our those who have joined us, feel free. My name is right there on the screen, right? They can see that, right? So connect with me on LinkedIn. I would say so you avoid another common mistake is don't just hit connect, actually add a note. Say, because LinkedIn gives you the opportunity when you send a connection request on LinkedIn to add a note saying, hey, it's Lena, I heard you on the Lab Coats podcast today. Let's connect. Say something versus just sending a request and it's empty. The person hasn't said anything. So when you hit connect, at least on your desktop or laptop, it'll say, add a note. It'll give you that option. Add a note. Hey, it's Lena, it's great hearing you on Lab Coats today.
I love it, dude. Very good.
It's networking.
It is. It totally is. And I think we overthink it. Like I overthink LinkedIn. I'm like, what is it? What do I do? But it goes back to the networking thing. So
networking.
Give us some ideas as to what we should, you just popped up on my LinkedIn, by the way. Give us some ideas as to what we can post content-wise, coming from a real estate agent view, right? Real estate agent, team, broker, because I think that's the #1 challenge that all people in general have with social media.
Right.
What do I post on LinkedIn?
here's the thing, LinkedIn, I see LinkedIn as a stepchild of social media. Everyone remembers to post on Instagram, they remember to post on Facebook, but they forget about LinkedIn. It's like, and as we know with any stepchild story, Cinderella, she was the best one. Like that, and I say that because LinkedIn, number one, and I love that you're pulling out your notes.
That was such a good quote. I'm going to quote you. That was so good.
Number one, LinkedIn has the most favorable algorithm of all the sites. That is huge if you know anything about algorithms and your content getting pushed out. And that's why, look, he opened up his computer. I popped right up on his LinkedIn because the algorithm is not as, I see Instagram, for example, and I'm not saying don't post on them. Yes, I'm just saying don't forget LinkedIn. Instagram is a demanding mistress.
Ooh, look at that one too. That's so good. Okay, so far we've got LinkedIn is like the stepchild in social media.
Stepchild of social media.
And Instagram is the demanding mistress.
Yeah.
Ooh, pay attention, everybody. It gets better.
So what are we posting? So now that we know we need to remember to post on LinkedIn, what are we posting as an agent? I'm actually going to share screen with you just so you can see something here. Let me hit the share screen button. And I actually, obviously we're in like kind of chaotic times. There's a little health thing going on right now that you might have heard about. And let me make sure you're not seeing anything inappropriate on my computer. Okay, so one, I find that people, and this is huge, social media equals networking. I think we turn into these like marketing robots when we get behind a computer and get ready to create content. So just remember, see it as networking. What would you say if you were in a room with someone? I like to see LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook as 3 different rooms. How would you behave yourself? Okay, so number one, given that there's stuff going on, crises going on, personal stuff going on, emotional changes, all this stuff, address it. I've actually seen some people hide, like not post as much as a result of the chaos that's happening. Mm-hmm. And I say, okay, great. I see maybe you want to be positive. You don't want to spread any negativity. Add your own positive flair. Add your insights. What are you finding? What are your clients saying? The people that you're getting on the phone with, or prospects, potentials, the challenges you're having with scheduled appointments, or the success you're having with scheduled appointments. What are you finding? And that really kind of blends into number 2, which is really establishing yourself as the thought leader. Like you are the sharer of information, the go-to. Share your thought leadership. And that can be as simple as, hey, you're on the phone all day with people, share in content what you are finding people are saying. What are the questions, the things you find yourself answering and saying over and over. You are the go-to thought leader, and what you say now will definitely position you for once we get through this. Okay, so that is huge right there. I think we forget that those phone conversations make great content.
I'm going to say something there because you bring up such a great point. We're in it every day, right? We're doing this on a daily basis. And like you just said, the daily phone calls. Yesterday, I had a conversation with somebody who called me from when I was in law school. They're like, hey, we're looking to move back to California. We live in Colorado. And he had so many questions about moving back. And I thought, what a great opportunity to just talk about those challenges on social, or to my team, or to my brokerage, right?
Yes.
So really great point. I think we just have to become more aware that these conversations are actual content. Really good point. I love that.
Good. Awesome. Okay. And then I know I kind of skipped over. How do we address crises and more chaotic things in a more positive way and still tied into real estate? Well, yes, of course, people are those phone conversations, clients, I obviously not sharing any names, share the things that they are dealing with, things that you as an agent are dealing with, and tie that into your business. Let's say I know there are a lot of people, they started like working out more, obviously from home, and then like baking bread and doing stuff like that. Well, all that's great, but it doesn't tie into real estate. And so I'm just going to just show you a simple, non-rocket science way of tying it into real estate. So here we have someone working out at home, and this is, we see a lot of this online. Well, let's tie it into real estate by saying something like, hey, since we've been sheltering in place, I've been able to break up my day working with my real estate clients by getting in a workout in the middle of the day, right? So you're just kind of sliding in there what you're doing and that you are in real estate. Just super simple.
I like that. I love the connection. So easy.
So easy. And we know that real estate is a very relationship heavy business. And what greater way to build relationship than to be relatable? Like showing, like I just saw a post about how the stars, the Hollywood stars, et cetera, are actually not very relatable right now because they're moaning about being sheltered in place in their mansions. Right? So that's not very relatable, but we can be relatable by sharing what we're doing in our homes.
Really good point, by the way. That's good. I love that.
Sure. So I'll stop screen and
all right, question.
Yeah.
When you bring up these slides, are you also going to share them with people later on or no? Just a question.
I was planning on it.
Right.
But people feel free to like reach out to me, and I would love to even offer people like a free assessment where we assess your current social presence, or it be just your LinkedIn or your LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. So the free assessment, they can actually even just say free assessment, please, with like a way to reach them, and they can take advantage of that.
On Instagram, it's at
Italina K. You got it. Yes.
Right,
at Italina K. And there's some fun stuff there. I feel like Instagram has brought out the artist in me. Like it's more about aesthetics, you know, and because you don't want to be just sharing everything across all three of the platforms. So Instagram is more of my artsy stuff. Feel free to check that out at Italina K to see the cool patterns and things we've got going on there.
I love that. All right. All right, so I've seen your Instagram. I love the patterns, by the way.
Thank you.
I love that you keep that in track. It looks really nice.
Thank you.
But let's dig a little deeper into LinkedIn. So you brought up some great points about more professionals being on LinkedIn. What are some advantages that you think us as agents can take advantage of that fact? Is there anything that stands out?
A few things. So number one, the people on LinkedIn have jobs, right?
Well, step number one. That's actually the most important one.
They can qualify for a home, right? So,
we're done, Italina. Good job. I don't know why we don't always start there. That's such a great point. Because we make a big deal about Facebook having the demographic that can purchase, and then LinkedIn has the demographic that can purchase, but they have jobs. That's just the extra step. I love that.
Of course, yeah.
Sorry, I had to interrupt because that was good.
Please do, all good. So they have jobs. We know this is, they are actually demographics. It's shown they are actually the higher income earners. There's higher income earners for sure on LinkedIn compared to Facebook, etc. And then number two, the fact that we can refer. We can seek out referral sources, what I call referral sources. So people who can refer to you, whether they be like CPAs, divorce attorneys, right? You think about a divorce attorney, they're doing people who need to sell a house and get two more, right? So just think about the professionals who are likely to refer to you. So being on LinkedIn allows you can even type in the search box, CPA, divorce attorney, and then with the filters, filter down to people in your location. I love being able to connect with them saying, hey, I saw that you're an attorney in such and such an area. Given what we do, let's connect. Let's network. And everyone is all about networking right now because they can't go out to networking events.
That's true. That's very true. Let me put up the link there for people to go find you on LinkedIn. There it is.
Oh, thank you. Awesome.
I had a couple of people say they want an assessment.
Okay.
You can do it here. I'll send them to you, Italina, or they can go to your LinkedIn and ask there and message.
Okay. Okay.
So those are some great points. Here's a question from Jackie. Do you have support tips for LinkedIn? Question mark. She finds it difficult to get help and gain control of her business page there. Too many people had this role to keep organized. She's like, I can't get it all together.
Yeah, so that's more technical stuff. I hear it's horrible trying to reach anybody at LinkedIn. That's more of the technical stuff as far as support. Again, if there's any kind of question that I may be able to answer, for sure, as far as a specific problem that's not too, outside of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, not the technical stuff. Right?
Yeah.
It's more like what we should be posting, how often.
Okay.
Kind of connect with people deeper, like that.
Okay, so I love this. So what to post, we talked a little bit about that. Obviously just your insights, speaking specifically to professionals, what people are doing in the market. Like I like to differentiate between just sharing what the market's like to what you are finding people are saying, what your clients are dealing with in particular, what you are dealing with as an agent, what you're seeing as you go out in the day-to-day. So obviously questions that your clients tend to ask you, hey, create that into a post. How often do you want to post? Even on LinkedIn, because it's such a favorable algorithm, if you're posting 2-3 times a week, you're going to pop up, okay? There are times when I only post once a week and I forget, but I think because I post consistently and I have so much engagement on the page, the algorithm gives me favor. So I think you want to definitely be consistent. And I make sure I engage. I think a lot of us hit and run, meaning post and then just leave it. You want to post and then respond, right? Like in the next 15, 20, 30 minutes, look and see, has anybody commented, etc. Even if if people are only liking and they're not commenting, I'll leave a comment, say, thanks for liking. So I'll call somebody out. Thanks for liking, Eric, like get that engagement going. And of course, engage on other people's pages.
All right. Those are great points that you brought up. I think one thing that we're missing as agents when it comes to LinkedIn is actually staying around and engaging with other people, right? And I think that's more than half the battle, because then you'll start popping up more on them. So I see on LinkedIn something called Sales Navigator. Do you do Sales Navigator?
I don't do a lot of Sales Navigator. I'm all about free. And typically the people I work with are all about free. But as for someone just talked about, how do we actually network with somebody? So let's just say you have like 300, 400, 500 plus connection on LinkedIn. That's a lot of people to be ignoring. So I like to get clear, which professions do I want to connect with? So obviously my audience is real estate. So if I can type in a search box, realtors, real estate agents, something like that. And it'll pull up the people that I am first level connections with. Okay, so we're tapping into the people who are already in your network, and then shoot them a message. Hey, I see we're connected here on LinkedIn, but we haven't talked in forever, or we've never spoken. Let's network, see how we can be a resource to each other. Basically, the end point to everything we're doing is to schedule those, to get on the phone. The internet gives us that initial connection. Next, we need to get on the phone. You've never had a transaction close without getting on the phone first. So it's all about, when you think about using LinkedIn, schedule those kind of like virtual coffee meets. That's everything right there. And that's going to be higher quality than purchasing random leads. Here you got a warm network.
That's very true. A warm network that is employed. I think that's really important.
Yes.
Right. So
yes.
That's good. All right. So how do we connect with this network? Because I see, and this is, I don't understand this, because remember, I'm not on LinkedIn as much. There's like the first level, and then there's like the second level. Can you explain that? And then how we connect with each?
So first level means they're in your network. Second level means it means you're connected. Second level means you're not connected, but you've got a person in common or a LinkedIn group in common. You got something in common. You went to school, same schools, or you have something in common, but they're not your first level connections. They're not really in your network yet.
Got it.
So I would say the lowest hanging fruit, the easiest thing to start with is your first level connections. You're already connected. So go in there by hitting my network. It'll actually even say the filter across the top of the screen, a white bar, it'll say filters and it'll say connections. You want to go hit that and click first, because otherwise it'll just show like everybody on LinkedIn basically. So you want to make sure it hits first, and you go through and you schedule those phone appointments, those virtual calls with them. That's what we should be doing every day. That's part of lead generation.
All right. So you'd suggest that we go out to our second, right? And then connect with those.
So I'm saying first start, yes. And let's say you get through everybody, depending on how many connections you have, then go ahead and hit second and unclick first, yes. So I like to schedule, it just, as someone just asked, are these virtual calls, etc. It just depends on how. I love the face-to-face, obviously, and that's where people are going to feel that deeper connection. So yes, I'll either do FaceTime even because I have an iPhone, or the virtual call for sure. Other people, they have Google Meet, whatever they want to use. But yeah, I find that face-to-face is very impactful.
That's so true. I think and right now people are more used to doing face-to-face virtual.
Yes.
So it's not gonna come from left field, because think about this, pre-COVID-19, if you got somebody you didn't know FaceTiming, you'd be like, what the hell's going on, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But now FaceTime, it's like, oh, okay, boom, done, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot different. Most people, there's some
Yeah.
people still stuck in the pre-COVID-19 mentality, but that's okay. Some questions for you here from two different sections here. Number one, Jessica, what's up, Jessica? Here's her question. So it's not really that different than Facebook posts, gently reminding people of real estate while sharing our life.
Totally.
All right, cool. I love that. So great distinction there, Jessica.
But I would just say is I do love that actual added piece of we're talking to professionals.
Yes.
So there are times when I'll even say, oh, for us, I'll start a post saying, us professionals, right? Just getting their attention.
I think that's the key. How do you get professionals' attention versus just everybody in general that's your friend? Good one. All right, Megan, what if most of our connections are other real estate agents?
Okay, so that's beautiful. Remember, so then I would say now then it will be your job to curate your network, to make it a point to connect with clients, former clients, prospects, anyone who's asked you any real estate related question. So now you have to be more mindful about who you're connecting with.
I love that. All right, good. Now, another question. How do you feel about sharing blog posts in LinkedIn?
Huge. That is like gold. So here's the thing. You guys might have heard of this platform called Google.
Oh, I've heard of it. Yes.
Okay. So LinkedIn has what I call Google juice, meaning Google favors LinkedIn. So when you publish your blog, something real estate related, asking a question that people are finding that are asking during this time, how to sell your home in August, how to sell your home during a pandemic, whatever you think people are Googling, if you write an article titled that and publish it on LinkedIn, oh my God, you can actually show up. That article can actually show up on Google.
All right, so let's go a little bit deeper into that. When you say publish it on LinkedIn,
okay,
what does that mean?
Okay, so when you go to the home,
okay,
you hit home on LinkedIn.
I hit it.
That's where you'll see create a post or something like that.
Yep.
Underneath that, you'll see it says post or versus publish or article or something.
Oh, write article.
Write article.
How the hell did I miss that? Jeez.
That's gonna open it up, and the more I can be more specific.
Wow.
The more niche down you are, how to sell a home in a pandemic in Georgia or in a city, like something super niched, the higher your chances are of showing up on Google on the first page.
That's so good. That's so good. I'm going to use that.
They want to see a screen share of that.
Oh, you want, here, I'll share it really quick.
Okay, cool.
Let me go to show you where it's at. All right, here you go. You see there's a home button at the very top, right there. Right click it. And then you see here, start a post. Well, you have 4 options: photo, video, document, write article. I don't know how I missed that. I'm on to it. All right. I click it. And then I can add a picture, headline, and start writing.
That headline is where it needs to be super niche down, super specific.
And then I can publish it. Easy. So this is what I'm thinking now, because I'm thinking as you're talking, this is a brilliant idea. Thank you for showing this. Okay. I'm thinking, because I don't have a blog for A Brilliant Tribe, it's just a newsletter. I'm thinking some of those articles I could just publish right here. So that would be really good. And then I can share them in. So thank you for this.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Yeah. And I'll add one more thing as far as YouTube. If you're looking to bring more traffic to your YouTube, in that article, let's say you have a specific link to a particular video that is addressing the topic you're discussing, you embed that, copy paste that into the LinkedIn. Oh, now you're really increasing your chances of showing up on Google, because guess who owns YouTube, right? So
yeah, all right, I like that combination.
Yep.
All right, I love that. And obviously I brought this page up so people can see who you are. Do you use Canva to do any of your works?
So I have a team, so I'm very fortunate that I have 0 artistic skills. All those graphics that you see there, my team made. They use like Photoshop, whatever software that graphic designer people use.
You're mostly brains, Italina.
I'm the writer. Yes, I am the creator as far as thought. I'm the thought leader. I know how to use these social media tools. Yes, I have a law degree, so writing is really my specialty.
Yeah, I think people don't know that here. Law school.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and that JD is for Juris Doctorate.
That's right. I like how yes, it is for that. I love that. So good. Yeah. There's a couple of things here that people might not know about, which believe it or not, I just discovered this when I went to your page earlier today. I was like, what? I can download a PDF?
Yeah.
So that was cool.
And you can, I have 100 testimonials on LinkedIn. And that's because I hit that button right there all the time. You can probably attest to this. You ask somebody, oh, great, will you write a testimonial for me? And they're like, yeah, but then they don't do it. By hitting that button on LinkedIn, it shoots it over to their inbox, so it's there in their face. They have to write a testimonial.
I love this. What a great place to get testimonials from, right?
Yeah.
Especially from other professionals.
Other professionals, clients, for sure. People who heard you present. So you guys want to write me a testimonial, go ahead.
Boom, done. Well, now you know where to find her on LinkedIn, right? All right, and there's some other questions I want to get to. Hold on, good questions. Bettina, yes, that article tip is worth tons. I agree. Very, very true.
Thank you. I've been doing this 8 years. Going on 9. I will never forget when I first even heard of LinkedIn. Like, I was like in college, and it was like, oh, let me get on this to help my career or whatever, my chances at a career. And then it quickly, when I started my company in 2012, it was like, okay, I'm not looking for a job anymore. So I'm turning this into a marketing piece. And that was really at the cutting edge of, oh, wow, this is a marketing piece. This is not just a resume. People were just using it as a resume, and a lot of people still are. What's my favorite platform?
That's a good question.
Well, the fun one is Instagram, right? But I would say I get the most of my business right now. I water all 3. I water Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. I'll share a Facebook story, and then somebody will message me on LinkedIn saying they saw my Facebook story. I find that LinkedIn is that's the #1 professional site. So people feel comfortable discussing business. on LinkedIn, whereas we know Facebook is more social. Yes, have a presence on all three. Just don't ignore the LinkedIn, because I think that kind of compels people more to reach out to you and talk about business.
Yeah, it's very specific to that. Great point. Do you know if the Zillow testimonials can go into LinkedIn automatically? I don't know.
Not automatically, no. And that's what's kind of positive about the testimonials on LinkedIn, is the credibility. People have to go in and manually write your testimonial on LinkedIn. The connection between LinkedIn and YouTube is that LinkedIn is favored by Google. Google owns YouTube. So when you copy paste your YouTube link onto a LinkedIn article, you have a higher chance of it popping up on Google. That's why I'm just answering. That was super random probably to everyone else, but no, just answering a question that popped up.
Good question. Good answer. You've made a few fans here, by the way. They say they love you. I'm scrolling up to see if I missed anything. And
connect with me, Instagram, link, whatever you're comfortable with.
Instagram or LinkedIn, either one. And there's one question that I missed. I'm trying to find it because it was a good one. Here it is. Paula, hey Paula. All right, Jen has a question. Would that be a good strategy for recruiting agents? She's talking about posting videos or even blogs, or just talk about recruiting in general when it comes to that.
So a brokerage out in some state, I don't know, we have clients all over the country. By the way, we have clients right now in 11 different states, which is just really exciting for us.
Nice.
We're not as big as Lab Coats. You guys are the bomb. You guys are all international and everywhere, but.
Yeah, but you're niche, right? We're kind of like everything. So everything is needed.
Yes, thank you. Now I forgot the question.
Recruiting.
Oh yes, a brokerage hired us to help them with recruiting on LinkedIn. So number one, yes, there's paid stuff you can do, but again, I'm all about free, and most people I work with are all about free. So number one, LinkedIn, one thing LinkedIn added just this year, you'll probably notice on your LinkedIn, and if you don't see it because you're not taking advantage of this feature, you can see it on my profile. It's the featured section, featured. And that pops up right away. And if you want to do a share screen, Tristan, go ahead.
Let me find you here.
Sure. So in that featured section, you want to be sharing things. You can do video, of course. I think I'm big on video. You can be sharing the culture of your office. Just scroll down, and we're going to see, bam, featured right here.
Got it.
And right away, look, I put the most impressive stuff there right away. I hit the 2020 list this year. I was on television, interviewed on so you want to put those. I spoke there at Inman. The biggest things right there on, I think that's when we met, Tristan. Is that what
that's right. Now I remember. That's right.
In front of 4,000 professionals. It was awesome. So you want to put right there, whether it be articles or videos on showing pictures of your office, the culture, video of your current agents talking about what it's like to work there, right? So you're giving people that experience of what it would be like at your brokerage. So this is a great way to really feature your office as far as recruiting, because people are attracted to like lifestyle, right? So what is this lifestyle at your office, working with your team?
Great point. And any awards as well would be perfect there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So now I'm looking at your feed. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
I love that you put yourself first, because I love when people put that picture of themselves, because I want to know about you. So
totally.
I love that.
Yeah, it's more personable. We believe it or not, I actually receive more engagement when it's just a picture of me than a cool graphic.
I believe you. And that goes back to this whole idea of social media just coming down to the simplest thing, which is building relationships through people, right?
Yes, I love that we came across this post. This actually goes to the content piece. Obviously, we don't want to just talk about real estate all day. Me, I don't just post about social media all the time. People will get tired of me. As good as your lasagna dish or your fish dish or your chicken dish is, people don't want to have it every night. So same thing here with your social media. So I talk about other things. Here I shared my team's 5 core values. And you might think that has nothing to do with social media, but it has to do with business. And these are other business owners. And this is a cool feature that LinkedIn has added. You can actually add a slideshow onto as a post versus just having one still photo.
I love that. That's good. I like it.
Yeah. So just like you, Tristan, I'm not just, you don't just share real estate information. You're also sharing personal development type of things, other business development things. Again, we're talking to the business community. There we are. We're talking to the business community. I'm sharing what I'm doing. Obviously, we're limited in the kind of, because we're not going to events and so forth. But like I just did a little thing with Zillow. So I just showed me on the computer, or I'll even do, like I'll put my phone up to the screen like this. I should probably do it right now and show that this is what we're doing. Like that's just the world we live in. So really it's about sharing what you're doing in a working capacity.
I'm just going to do a little quick Instagram live talking about LinkedIn. There we go.
I love it. So yeah, I'm here with Tristan Lepcoats, talking about LinkedIn today. And I'm thrilled. We've got people from Canada, from
Portugal.
Portugal. I mean, it's crazy.
There you go.
All right. So great. So, and look how quick that was. So I'm just going to tag Kristen, and you've got like 3 different Instagram accounts. I never know.
I know. It's Tristan.Almada. That's the right one.
All right. So bam. And then I'm just going to hashtag LinkedIn. Right. And then we're done. It doesn't have to be super time consuming.
I love that. I love how you said you water all of your social platforms. It's like a garden. It's like farming.
Yeah.
How beautiful is that? That was really, really good. All right. A couple of questions here.
Okay.
Paula says, hey, I'm with eXp Realty in Nashville, and I want everyone to understand the passive income side of our company. How do you suggest I approach that better?
Okay, so stories, people love stories. People love rags to riches stories. So if you can have someone actually on video talking about it, there's nothing more impactful. And it's not salesy because you're sharing a story. You're sharing what happened in your life.
Very good point. I love that. I think we forget that those stories connect with people in a deeper way.
Yes.
Right. Very good. So great example, Paula. Probably get a couple of your agents that are doing really well, or maybe tell your story as well.
Yes.
All right, let's see.
And I just want to remind people, if you want to look into my company's social media services, if you want to just have a free assessment, please go ahead and message me either here on the chat or on one of my sites. Free assessment, please, with a way to reach you.
Perfect. Do you want them to reach you out in LinkedIn, or it doesn't matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All right, I'm going to put up your
free assessment, please. We'll be able to flag it.
All right, put it there. So people can reach you on Instagram. Another question, and this is from Angela, but let's see. It says, I don't have the article as an option. Do I need pro account to do this?
No. And Angela, are you on the cell phone or a laptop doing this?
I think she's probably on her cell. That's my assumption, because I don't see the option on my cell phone.
Yeah, so here's the thing. You wouldn't want to write an article on your cell phone anyway. That's you're going to have a cramp in your thumb. So you definitely want to think this out. I actually suggest like giving 3 tips, 1, 2, 3, like start with the problem, give your 3 tips, give your little real estate blurb, and then a call to action with your contact info. So you want to really think that out. I even do it on a Word document first and then copy paste it onto LinkedIn.
Okay, great idea. I love that. And then I got another person that needs an assessment. I'm just grabbing them from the chat, the ones who are putting it here, and throwing it to you on LinkedIn messaging.
I love it. Thank you so much. Great.
Another great question here. This is good because I get both sides when I ask this question. So let's see what you think.
Okay.
Janet, great question because it keeps on coming up. Should you stay away from politics?
Okay, so I'm a firm believer in staying away from politics, religion, whatever that list that they say you don't talk about at the dinner table. I stay away from that. Now, I will say that while politics touch a little bit of everything, there are certain things to me that are human issues. It's about humanity, not politics. So, just giving my own opinion, the health of people that has been politicized. To me, that's a humanity and health issue. Whether Black Lives Matter, that has been politicized, that is a humanity issue, right? So for me, what I'm doing and how I'm keeping my positive flair is by just speaking to the human, the person, like people, the heart, getting to the heart of it and sharing like just how I feel in a positive way. I'm not getting mad at anyone, not judging anyone else, right? Just kindness, all that good stuff.
You know, that's an interesting thing that you brought up here because of the great question, by the way.
Yes.
And I think sometimes most of the time, when we're in a position of leadership, where we're expected to speak out on all topics, right? So I really wasn't prepared for that. At least prepared to understand that that's what was expected, right? But I was prepared because I'm always talking. So I thought that was interesting the way you said it, and I agree with you. I think you can always take a stance for what is the kind way to approach things, because people may think that kindness is a weakness, but it isn't. It's actually a strength, right? Think of all the greatest leaders, good and great leaders. There's a difference between leaders and good and great leaders of our past, right? Marcus Aurelius, amazing Roman emperor, considered one of the 5 good emperors of the time, super kind, stoic, right? And so you think, well, if I'm going to talk about anything because people want me to talk about it or I want to talk about it, don't take sides.
Yeah.
Say, hey, look, this is how I see it, and I'm not this or this,
Right.
but this is what I think we should be paying attention to, right?
Yes.
So I think that's a great point. Don't politicize it. Don't fall into that. Just remember, if you remember one thing when it comes to politics, religion, health, anything, going back to the basics. If you care about somebody,
yes,
that's where you start.
Stripping it down to that.
Yeah.
People, the person, the heart. Yeah.
That's it. So what a great question. And Italina, what a great answer. I agree with you on that.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else that I'm missing that you wish I would have asked you in regards to LinkedIn?
Okay, sure. So I think one thing that people don't realize is, in case we haven't stressed enough the importance of LinkedIn, what is in your profile, as in the words you guys saw my profile. I had all this stuff like in the heading, like right away. People didn't even have to read my summary to see I am an online presence expert. I help with social media. You can have a free assessment. All that is in my heading. And most headings that I see is the name, the brokerage. Well, that if I'm a buyer, if I'm a seller, if I'm thinking about referring to a realtor in your area, that doesn't help me determine whether you're someone I should choose. Right? People are looking online for information to help them decide whether to reach out to you, whether to work with you. And it's our job to put in our profiles that information. So right away, oh, this is the contact info. I see this blank all the time. Just like, do you not want to do business?
That was good.
Put a way for people to call you, and then yes, have your links out to your other pages. So look, real estate LinkedIn, our clients, their realtors are Jimmy Boy, our good friend Jim Wahlberg. So yeah, I love real estate. I'm not a real estate agent. I love real estate. I love the people. So yes, our clients and all of our marketing speaks to the real estate world.
I love that. All right. I'm getting another one that I'm sending you from Megan. Brett has a question. Is there going to be another class again? I'm going to leave that up to you. Do you want to do this again?
Okay, sure.
Let's do it.
This
I think
is
it'd be
great.
fun.
This is fun.
I think it's fun. You're very informative, and I love your style. So
Thank
really,
you.
really easy going with a lot of information. So
Oh yeah. Oh,
really
yeah.
good. I think, what other parts do you think we could dive into on a second part to this that
On
would
a
be good?
second one, and we'll have to, I think I'm a big fan of getting the questions from the people. So if we can somehow create a content creation, like pull the information from this chat. Looks like a lot of people have questions that we probably missed.
Ooh,
And
content creation, like go deep into that.
Sure.
Anthony says he's very impressed with your information. Anthony, she's absolutely amazing. So if you do dive into getting more information from her and her classes, you won't regret it. So I did put up the link there. Let me grab it again. And there, just in case you want to just go sign up directly.
Sure.
And then some people are asking for a demo of what you do. So maybe, what do you think of doing the next round? We could do part 2, going deep into content. And then if you have any type of a demonstration of what you do or what you've done for people in the past, we can put that in there too.
Happy to, yeah. And our process, like how we pull this information, because beautiful teeth.
Italina is awesome, by the way. She's one of the Lab Coat agents, like hardcore tribe members. I love Bettina. So that's super
great.
sweet of you, Bettina.
That's so great. See, I love realtors are beautiful people. And then I'll even say, Tristan, you're a beautiful person. You've attracted this community, this tribe of beautiful people. So
thanks. I appreciate that. Well, look, this is why we get along, right? We have the same mind wave, right?
That's right. That's right. So what were we saying? Oh yeah, the process.
we got sidetracked. Beautiful people.
But we go through, because all the content we create for our agents is personalized. I'm all about personalization and customization. So I'd be happy to give my secrets on how we pull out content.
Oh, I love that. That's a great title. Secrets of LinkedIn content.
Yeah.
I love that. Let's do that. And then you can demo what you do. Yeah. And then we'll just go in deeper. Yeah. I got a lot of people saying yes to that. Italina, I just messaged you. There were about 5 or 6 different people who want to get a demonstration of that. Okay. And guys, reach out to her on LinkedIn, follow her, and follow her on Instagram as well. She's super easy to find. I've never met anybody else with the name Italina, so it's not difficult.
Not difficult. On Instagram is @Italina K. I had to put that K at the end because unfortunately Italina was already taken.
What?
So I know, right? So I had to add that K. Believe it or not, in Italy, because my name is Italian, I am not. Believe it or not, my name is actually very common in Italy.
What?
So my name is like Sarah in Italy.
Wow. I didn't know that. Okay, so, well, there you go. Now I know. All right. Thank you so much for being on. I appreciate it. This is recorded, so this is going to go onto our YouTube channel in about a day. Give it a day. Okay. And then remember to follow her. And those people that put their emails here, I sent them over to Italina. Thanks, Italina.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.